Welcome one, welcome all. I know it's been a minute. We've been busy with life. Things happen, but we're back after over a month off. So we're just going to kick things off. I'm not even going to let Danny get into an intro, do his own intro or whatever. He can do that after this first segment here. Because this first part, I got to find my notes here real quick. All right. Because this first part kind of involves him. So I saw something the other day, and I thought this would be a great topic to talk about. And you know what? There's two things in this
Okay.
life I never thought I'd ever see. Danny cutting all of his hair off, and Liquid Death and E.L.F doing corpse paint together. One of these things is real, and the other one hopefully never happens. And if you're watching on
And
YouTube, you
I
can see
still
which one
got
is
long
real.
hair. I still got my long hair.
Yes, he does. So that means Liquid Death and E.L.F came together and did corpse paint.
One of the wildest collaborations. One that I wasn't ready for at all.
I wasn't
And
either.
uh and it came so out of the blue and I was like, okay, I guess this is the thing now.
It was to me, it was one of the funniest things that has happened this year because also, as soon as I got the text from Liquid Death saying, hey, we just launched this, I was like, oh, all the black metal heads are going to be so, let me rephrase that. Black metal fans are going to be so mad at corpse paint becoming trendy and in the mainstream from a trendy. Danny, shush, shush.
Nobody would have said anything if you would have just kept going.
Yeah, well, there's probably that
You
1%.
gotta edit this out.
All right.
This is going in a blooper video at the end of the year.
Yeah. You know what? No, it can just stay in. Oh,
Black metal fans are gonna be mad.
yes. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Thank you for saving me. Anyways, so Liquid Death, please sponsor us now as we're talking about your products again.
I'm
Cheers.
sorry I'm not drinking a liquid death. I'm just
Oh, no, you're
drinking
good.
water.
You're good. You're good. I just have a can on standby now just for this segment.
I need to be better. I need to do that too.
Yeah. But anyways, back to that segment. Yeah, I just thought it was hilarious, and I could hear all the black metal fans being like, "Oh, that you can't do this. This is mainstream. This is sacred." And I have a friend who's like very much into like that metal genre, and he is very much like that. I haven't seen his reaction yet, but I can already hear it.
Let me just say, I absolutely hate, and I don't hate anything. I hate the devil and I hate mosquitoes. I hate gatekeepers in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Like, good example, it's not black metal, but Fan Omen's blowing up last year or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever, 2 years ago, blowing up. I saw them, correction. I left before their set when they toured with O Sleeper back in 2020 because I didn't even think they were a good band. I heard Finding God or Finding God when that came out, and I was just like, I don't know. But then when Death of Peace of Mind came out, was the first single. Like a Villain, I think was like one of the first singles.
I couldn't tell you.
I
I didn't
forget.
really get into
But I
them
remember the
then.
first time I saw Bogdan Hardcore over on YouTube. Shout out to Hardcore if he ever sees it. Um, I was watching this and I was like, that's not the Bad Omens that I remember. I was like, I guess they fired their old vocalist and got a new vocalist because they sounded like polar opposites. And then I just did a little bit of research and I was like, oh crap, no, he just put in the work. And then people are like, I've been with them since the first album. Well, in a way, I knew they existed, but I wasn't a fan until Death of Peace of Mind came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people be like, "Oh, you're just a fan because you watched them blow up. You think you're a metalcore boy." I'm like, "Well, no, I am a metalcore boy, but who cares about when I found the band?"
Yeah.
Who cares when we find a band, whether they're playing to 30 people or you're playing to 30,000 people? I get excited every time I play a show and somebody's like, dude, I just found you guys like a week ago and saw you were going to be in town. I'm like, thank you for coming out to the show. You know, like the words to like two parts of one song and you're just vibing and enjoying it. Dude, I don't care when you listen to music. You know what I mean? Like, I
Hmm.
don't like gatekeepers. I
Yeah.
don't like them.
I don't either. That's gonna be a good section for later on in this show. Hang on one second.
Mhm.
What are my puppies doing? Okay, they're good. I've been having issues where the one dog is digging in the kennel, and like I can be gone for like an hour, and all of a sudden the hole's like a foot deep. I'm just like, dog, I just covered that up.
That's rough. My
So
dog was
I
pooping in the house a couple days ago.
oh, we had that with our puppy last no, almost 2 years ago now. She would be peeing and pooping in the house, but she wasn't house trained yet. But
This
she's
is
all good now.
this is metal as heck. So it's dark and because I had the lights off, I had my TV on, but the living room light was off and the kitchen light
Hmm.
was off. I'm walking out of the kitchen and I slip, or I did like a little skip because I jumped over because I was jumping over something, just being funny.
Hmm.
Land on dog pee, do a split, and just let out the most gut wrenching just. I was like, and I see my dog look at me, run straight into her crate.
uh,
I yelled her name like it was a breakdown call out. I was like, Frida, I swear to God, I'm gonna throw. I was so mad.
uh,
But yeah,
I would be mad too.
pups, we love them. We deal with them. We
Yeah,
love our puppies.
they're so cute.
All
Yeah.
right.
Anyways,
New music. New music.
new music.
We've been gone for a month. That's partially my fault. I'm sorry about that.
Well, it's also partially my fault too. I had a thing for 2 weekends in a row that took up like 2 whole weeks. And then after I was like, I want a week off and do nothing.
And then it was Easter.
Yep. Which that's your
So
fault, okay? That's your fault for not doing an episode last week.
it is my fault. This episode should have been out last week, and it was Easter on Sunday. Whenever you're listening to this, and oh, excuse me, it was Easter. I work at a church, so it was just like we had Easter rehearsal Monday night, Thursday night, Saturday. I was doing work at the church throughout the week, and I was just like, I don't think I can do this week. So, but we're here now, and there's new
Yep.
music, and we're gonna start it off with Tyler talking about the new Boundaries album.
There's also one song that we forgot to put
Okay,
down the list.
I then we'll start with this one.
Do you want to start with this one or do you want me to start with the album?
Let's go with the album since we already introduced it.
Okay. Sounds good. So the new Boundaries album, what did we say it was called again? I can't remember. And that's terrible on my part. Death is Little More. What this album takes me back to that old school metalcore, like early, like Messenger's August Burns Red, like that era, like Messenger's album era and stuff. But this album, from the first second to the last note, there's no chill. It's just in your face, fast paced almost the entire time. I think there might be two sections in two different songs that are maybe 10 seconds each where it like slows down. And then it's right back in your face. The first song, what was it? It's like 30 seconds in, I'm already doing a stank face. And then they halftime it, do a breakdown. And I didn't pick this up until like my third listen in my car. There's an 808 bass drop every other kick.
Oh my
And
God.
then they do an 808 bass drop back to back. And then like 2 seconds later they're doing it again. It's basically, yeah. It's
The
from the
entire
opening track
song
to
is
the
just.
end. Basically, some notable tracks off this record. Well, I mean, I'd say the whole album at this point. This is looking like album of the year, and we have Alpha Wolf coming out this week, and I don't even know how Alpha Wolf's gonna top this record.
But I feel like
And
they
speaking of
will.
Alpha Wolf, yeah. Speaking of Alpha Wolf, Lockie does a feature in this on Pale Light Lingers. There are two other features, Blame's Burden featuring Marcus from Invent Animate, which also has an old school crabcore EDM section in it.
Ooh.
And then America's Favorite, they're a hardcore band, but they call themselves metalcore. But anyways, the most drill sergeant man out there, Matt Honeycutt, is on the second to last track, and if that song doesn't get you, see, they say that they're metalcore, but they're really hardcore. We all know it. They're a hardcore band.
Yeah.
But if that song Blood Soaked Salvation doesn't get you to hit a PR when Matt comes on, nothing will.
Amen.
But yeah,
I'll take your word for it.
It's 12 songs, 33 minutes, old school metalcore sound with that a little bit more modern production. Not much, but just enough. Yeah, that's
Just
album
enough.
of the year at this point.
Ooh, okay. I got homework then.
Yeah, listen, let me see if Airbuds will tell me how many times I've listened to it so far. It was my album of the week last week. I know that much. I think I'm up to like listen number 10 now.
Oh, I know what my album of the week was last week. And it was
sorry, I'm up to 12. I'm up to
12
12
listens
on that album since Friday.
God. That's how I was with Silent Planet.
Yeah.
That was me with Super Bloom 8 times a day. No, my album of the week last week was The Prelude by Magdalene Rose, because I'm going on tour with her. So I'm learning the set.
Nice. I was going to say that kept popping up on my earbuds. It was like, Danny's the number one listener for Magdalene Rose. I was like, I wonder why.
I wonder why. What is he doing? I'm sitting here stressing. Okay, I don't know. Why is this so technical? No, it's stretching me like crazy. I absolutely love it, actually.
Good.
The challenge.
The only song I mean, I'm not trying to bash her music. The only song I liked on that record was Guerrilla Warfare. I think that's the heavy one, right?
I can't wait. Guerrilla Warfare and Modern Genocide are like the real.
That's right. Yeah, those two were good.
Heavy ones. I'm excited to play those two live. We could do a whole segment about that at the end if we wanted to, about that set list and all that. But
so the song that we missed real quick.
Yeah.
It's from the boys in Oldham, Kentucky. We forgot about Blinding Faith to put down on this list to talk about. Because that came out since the last time.
Yeah, that came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like 2 weeks before the new Wage War song, too. But yeah, I listened to that song 49 times.
Holy
in
crap.
the week that
came
out.
I think I might have listened to it like 2 or 3 times when it came out.
I was hooked on it.
Not out of disdain for it or anything like that, but it's a great song. I don't know. I think it just got lost in the shuffle for me, like with just everything I had going on. But no, I'm gonna go back and listen to that tonight because that was good.
The breakdown where I didn't realize Brian did like the low guttural right before the breakdown kicked in, because we're all used to him doing the highs.
Not closer.
And I think we all forget that he does, when they are live, he does do some lows here and there.
And his lows are heavy as heck live.
They are. They're nasty.
They're underrated. His lows, I will go on to say it. Brian Garris's lows are underrated.
They are. They very much are. I get why he doesn't do them a whole lot, because he's known for the highs and he's comfortable with that. But I love when he throws in those lows.
Just every couple of words every now and then is all you need.
Yep.
All right. And speaking of Knocked Loose, they also have a new single coming out tomorrow, along with Better Lovers and Era. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about a band who released the song last week. They're my boys in Lightworker. And This is the third single for their second album coming out at the end of the month,
Okay.
and they they stepped it up another level compared to the last album, and yeah, I've really just been enjoying these singles that they've been releasing. This rollout for the album, it reminds me a lot of like Kill Switch kind of metalcore, the early 2000s metalcore riffs and everything. And Grayson is absolutely just chopping it up the entire time. Joe, his singing has uh, leaps and bounds. I feel like it's just grown so much more. All around, I'm just super stoked. That is probably going to be up in my top 10, I think. But super excited about that. Did you get a chance to check it out? Or
I
no?
listened to it once. So I can't really give like a fair review on it, but this is from their first single for this new album. That was the first time I ever listened to them, so I've been enjoying their stuff so far. So I'll definitely listen to the album when it comes out then too.
Yeah, I toured with them last summer. Um, it's about all I can say right now because nothing else is public. But yeah, we toured with them last summer. We're gonna see them at Capulet Fest in the end of June. So can't wait to just play a show with those boys again.
Nice.
Not multiple. All right, and we also had a couple weeks ago. We talked about him earlier. Some new Kublai Khan.
The almighty
Monkey see,
Kublai
monkey
Khan.
do. Monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey see, monkey do. One of
uh,
their best songs live.
yeah. But oh
But
my
low
gosh, this
tech.
the video was absolutely insane.
It
It was
was.
trippy. I loved it.
It literally went low tech at a couple points too. Like they went to just like, what was it, night vision and then thermal vision too.
Hmm.
Like,
The
how can we
thermal
make a
vision,
video
I
for
was
the
like,
lowest budget possible?
literally, it was like, how can we do this and make it look legit? And that's what they did.
Yeah.
I was so focused on the video that I didn't even notice how heavy of a song it was.
It
And
took
then I
me to
went
my
back
second
and
time
listened.
through.
Same, and like the first time watching was the video, the second time was the music, and I was like, I don't know how they keep doing this. They're
I
so
love how
good.
everybody's using the Gideon like super heavy guitar and bass tones now.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that, where it's just the growling the entire time. Just
Hmm.
caveman riff, but it's just the most heavy sounding bass and guitar you've ever heard.
Your face just needs to be like this playing a caveman riff. Just yeah, literally, just like that. What other new music did we get? We got new Darko.
Yes, we did.
Beautiful, very chill song. Kind of what I was waiting for from them.
Yeah,
Where
doesn't every album have, or at least
every
I
album
guess
has
there's
at least one or two songs that's been just like that chill song.
yeah, because the
But this was
EPs don't
different
get
from
that.
those. Yeah, the
Yeah,
EPs just get like instrumental song, instrumental song, instrumental song,
yeah,
instrumental.
yeah.
But
But no, this song was very good. I'm normally not a big fan of slower, darker stuff, but this
I think that's
song,
some of their best work. Slower Darko stuff.
I think it's because I don't know. There's something about it I'm not a big fan of, but this one definitely got me hooked.
Yeah.
I do like this one a lot.
And then we got our boys in or my boys really, but they will be your boys too. In Paradigms with Conquest on their newest collaboration single, Extraction. Now, Conquest is a rapper out of New York, and Paradigms is a Christian metalcore. I kind of say they're trapcore, rapcore. Um, and they collaborated with this artist to create the song where he raps half the song over heavy instrumentals. Then there's like a really nice chorus. The breakdown at the end is absolutely insane. Kingdom Core actually shared it too. And I've known those boys for a long time. I'm on their new album that's coming out later this year.
Nice.
So super stoked for them. I'm going to talk about them again at the end of the podcast. I just
Sounds
answered
good.
my own I answered my own question with that.
All right.
And last but not least, before we get to the big one, but this is the second big one, convictions.
I would pull up my sleeve too, but I got long sleeves on because it's cold here. We're in Pennsylvania.
It's hot as crap here in Texas. Sleeping Lotus by Convictions. I am gonna finally say it. I have had this song in my phone since March 2023. I thought it was gonna come out a long time ago. So the way that I view the song now, it's not a new song to me because I've had time to process it, go
Mm-hmm.
through it. I've probably listened to it 100 times throughout the last year, which isn't a lot, but it's like 100 times before everybody else hears it. That's a lot. So I've
Yeah.
already done my deep analysis into it and everything. So I'm curious as to what you thought. I know we talked about it a little bit when it came out a couple weeks ago. I want to hear your opinion then and where you are now, and if that has changed at all, or if it's still completely one way or the other way. And then after that, I guess I'll give you mine.
Yeah. So when I first heard it, I wasn't too impressed with it because to me it seemed like the typical Conviction song where it's like, it's been a minute since I've listened to it, so I might be missing sections and how it goes. But I think it's like a intro into the verse, right? Or does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was all right, but it's like the same formula that they used on "I Won't Survive" a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The breakdown. This is gonna sound so dumb, but the first time I heard it, I was underwhelmed by the breakdown because everyone was hyping it up so much. So I was expecting. Well, I'm also a
Something
death.
out of this world. You're a
Yeah,
deathcore guy too.
I've started to become a deathcore boy. So when people hype up a breakdown, I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting like an Amongst the Low and Empty or To the Hellfire, like something like that. And I was like, this is kind of a letdown. But the more I
Like
stuck
this.
with it, the breakdown is actually really heavy. Mike has a couple different screams that he does throughout the breakdown. And I didn't realize how high he went with his highs. It's like, okay, I like this a lot more. The
Yeah.
chorus for me still, I wasn't a big fan of for a while, but that's starting to grow on me more. I think it's the clean vocals is what I'm having a hard time with. I think
Okay.
that's what it is. But they're growing on me. It's kind of like I'm trying to think of a band. Like with was it Dayseeker? No, who was it? There was another band I had a hard time with the clean vocals, but the more I listened to it, the more it grew on me. I can't think of
Yeah.
the band right now, but there's at least a metalcore band out there where I've had that issue with before too.
And then like the last few different, really, let's go from 2018 with Convictions. You had John as their clean vocalist on Hope for the Broken.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next rollout was I Won't Survive, which was a few years later. Well, no, we got Hurricane first when Daniel joined the band.
Yeah.
But then we got the I Won't Survive rollout. So there's Daniel now taking over cleans. Absolute menace to society. I love him to death.
He is a menace to society.
We get Supernova with Josh Canode, who was the guitarist at the time in Convictions, who took over Cleans. He has his own project now called Gone for Good. Go check it out, all you people. And then on Stigmata, we have Dakota originally from Hollowfront. He did Cleans on that. And now we get to the rollout for what is going to be the next Convictions album. I have no idea when it's coming out, when it's going to be released, or what it's even called. I've tried getting that information.
Dan bribed Convictions, and they said no, but they gladly took his money
But
and
they
said,
gladly took my money. They said thank you.
"We're gonna use this for gas."
Yeah. But and now on this new album we're getting Quentin. So within the span
Which one's
of
Quentin again? Is that the bass
long
player?
hair, no guitarist.
No, you're right. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll say both the bass player and the guitar player have long hair, so that doesn't help.
Yeah. Jacob is the bass player.
That's right. Okay.
He's one of the funniest guys that I have ever met too. When a quick side story, quick. Me and him, we send each other the most outlandish, outrageous memes all the time. His girlfriend, when we're at this show last year, it was when we were touring with them last summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first show, which was a hometown show for them. I go up to him and his girlfriend at the end of the show, just, oh, hi, I'm Danny. She goes, before I even finish it, she goes, oh, yeah, I already know who you are. I've seen your text messages with Jacob. I was like, you're not as bad as you think. But, and then she laughed it off. But, no, Tyler, or Jacob is one of the I'm talking to Tyler. My mind's in a million places today.
You're
Jacob
good.
is one of the funniest guys. My relationship with Convictions, I love those guys. I don't think they can put out bad music. That's maybe me being blinded because I love them so much and what they mean to me, what they mean to others. But when I heard Sleeping Lotus for the first time, I was sitting in my car with Mike, and he was showing me. And right away, before the first verse even started, I just heard the intro, the little anime type intro, into that opening call out for Sleeping Lotus, and I looked at him. I was like, "Yeah, this has to be your first single." And he was like, "Oh yeah, like this is already like we're shooting a video for it eventually, and this will be the first single for the album." I was like, "Good," because it shows. I think Sleeping Lotus is going to be kind of the bridge between I Won't Survive and whatever the new album is going to be.
I could see
In
that.
a
Yeah.
way, I feel like it could have been a B-side, quote unquote, like cuz it has that same vibe. Not saying that
Mm-hmm.
it deserves to be a B-side song, cuz obviously it doesn't. It's a single, a leading single too. But like it feels like it's that bridge that kind of will take us from the old, which is weird to say it's the old era of Convictions, but so much has happened.
Yeah.
That even just from the last album. It'll take us from here to here. I'm excited. Part of me did wish that they would go back to Andrew Wade. I love Andrew Wade. Um, I think if they would have done a full entire 12, 15 song album with Andrew Wade, would have been crazy. But Lee Albrecht, Hollow Front, he's getting his name out there even more
Yeah.
so. And he's making his way up the ranks. So this pairing between them, I think, is a smart move. Um, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the album comes out.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna be curious to see where they go with it. If it's gonna be, you probably don't know since you don't know the information, but I guess Stigmata is just a standalone single then, or is that gonna be on the album?
I asked him a question, or when I was talking to Jacob a few weeks ago. It might be.
Okay.
I don't think so, but I'm honestly 50-50 because I think I asked him if it was and he said no, or I said, is it not going to be on the album? And he said yes. Like the questions were worded like that, where it was like the answer was going to be the opposite.
Yeah.
So I forget what he said or not. So I
Because
guess
I
we
think
gotta
that'd be a
wait.
great track on the new record too.
Yeah, and their new set list, they're playing Stigmata second.
Really?
So I'm talking about it. They played it live. They're They opened with a new song in Mexico last weekend.
Huh.
It at first I went, why are they covering Pissed Off? When I heard the beginning of the intro, and I was like, okay, like it sounded like the end's beginning into Pissed Off, and I was like,
Which is
okay.
one of the best Fit for a King tracks ever.
I love that end beginning is just automatically intertwined with Pissed Off. You're never just gonna get a straight. You're
Yeah.
getting the full 45-second intro.
That song
Um,
live too goes nuts. And Stacking Bodies. Why don't they play that anymore?
did you go to
Anyways.
up? So they opened with this new song, and it was like a minute and a half long, and I was like, okay, so now we know what the first song on the album is gonna be.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. While we are talking about Fit for a King real quick, because that's all I had to say about Convictions. Did you go to Uprise 2019?
Yeah, when when Kirby's like, this next song is, and then we're just like, chanting, pissed off. Because, well, you guys know what it is.
What side of the Wall of Death? Because I'm assuming you did the Wall of Death.
I did do the Wall of Death.
If you're standing on stage looking out at the crowd, what side are you on?
See, that was so long ago. I don't remember anymore.
If you're looking out at stage, or do you remember?
I think I was on the right. Like, if you're looking out, I think I was on the right side.
Darn it! Like, were you closer to Tuck, or were you closer to Daniel?
I think I was on Daniel's side, but I stood up near the sound booth because I had another friend about my size who I knew we could run into each other, but we wouldn't be like getting hurt, and we won't. Yeah.
So I'm all the way up at the front on Tuck's side.
Oh my word!
So we just figured out we were at another show.
I was the one that when Kirby called for the circle pit for Slave to Nothing, I was the one that got it started around the sound booth. I was the first guy running around.
Dude, I had that entire concert on my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's funny. I also watched that then.
Yeah. Oh gosh. For those of you who don't know, about every week, Tyler and I are finding out that we have been to way too many of the same metal shows.
There's
And we
literally
didn't
video evidence of you and me at CVR, like almost next to each other, and we didn't even know who we were at that time.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know who you were when I asked I asked you if I could move your hoodie over 2 feet so I could set up my tripod. And that was a year ago. So, but we did end up going to the same concert at the same venue to see the same band, and we knew each other. And that band is none other than Wage War.
I was gonna say, can you see the tattoo? It's one of the ones I can't actually expose.
Wage War, and they just released their newest single, Magnetic. I bet you really like that transition. That was a really good segue.
That was. We've had so many good transitions this episode. Let's go. High five. Bam. Home score high five. There.
Yep. Magnetic. You could start it.
Yeah. So we'll go back to 2 days before it came out. I made a comment on a post, I think like a week before that, on one of Wage War's posts, like, oh, hopefully we get new music soon. Somebody said 2 days before the new song comes out, oh, March 21st. The other guy was like, how do you know, blah, 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 that whole big thing, and basically said, trust me, bro. Well, the next day, Foxcore, shout out to Foxcore because love him, shared that Wage War's putting a new song out. Wage War hadn't said a word yet.
Not a word.
Not a word. And you and me were both right. You said March, April. I said first quarter. And boy, did they like to play it close to the end of the first quarter, because I was like, man, if I'm wrong, I'm going to be so pissed. But you know what? I was still right.
Yeah, it's still right. And so the way they announced it, right, they said that they were going to premiere it on Octain.
Yeah, it was like, they didn't say anything until a half hour before it went on Octain. Like, oh, by the way, new track.
So when I saw that they were saying Octain, right away I said, okay, I'm not getting, I want to word this correctly, but basically I was like, okay, I'm not getting my hopes up. What I mean by that, because I love Wage War, I still think Pressure is a great album.
Oh yeah,
Many people don't. Um,
it's not their best, but
it's
Wage
not
War
their
has never made
best,
a
but
bad record.
they, yeah, there's no bad. I'll go as far to say I don't really think they've created a bad song. Are there
No,
songs that I don't like or that aren't like I don't want to go back and listen to it a million times? Yes, but that's not a bad song. And they still kept that streak going with Magnetic. Because when they said they were going to premiere it on Octane, I said, okay, it's going to be an Octane core song.
hmm
What's an Octane core song? Verse, core, intro, verse, chorus, verse two, mini breakdown, big chorus, extended chorus. They usually add another measure, a couple measures. Then you get your breakdown. Then you get your final chorus, which will usually start with the lo-fi acoustic guitar into that big last moment. And then you'll get your outro, which is either going to be a repeating of the chorus, kind of like
hmm
echoey, or you get the breakdown coming back again. It's generic metal. Wage War does it the best.
And you know
And
what's
that's not saying they're
funny?
a generic band.
No, they're not a generic band. But what's funny is Cody has a hand in writing like half the songs that go in Octane, and people love those songs, but
It's
they
just
don't
Cody
like it when
Core.
Wage War does it.
Octane
Which we'll get
Core
into
should
that
be
here in a
called
second.
Octane Core should be called Cody Core.
It should be because Cody writes literally half the stuff.
He's written, yeah. But Magnetic, so I went into it with the mindset, all right, this is gonna be just chill
It'll be
song.
Reddit hate because Reddit
It, it'll
hates it.
it'll be it'll be a song I've been getting on r/metalcore a little bit more the last few weeks because I never
Same.
used Reddit. I never understood it.
I never
I
used it
still
either.
don't.
Now I go on and it's usually either I look at r/metalcore or I look at Zillow's Gone Wild.
But so I'm like, yeah, they're not gonna like they don't like this. Okay. So and this is before I heard your song because I missed the premiere by like 10 minutes.
I saw the premiere for it.
So I missed it, but then I see it all blowing up on r/metalcore,
hmm
and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Wage War, they sold out. And I'm like, okay, so
It's the same thing that they've been saying for 2 albums.
it's the same thing you've been saying for 2 albums, and the last album we got was Manic. Your
And
opinion's
people
gonna mean
love that
nothing to
record
me.
too.
Yeah, Manic is my favorite. Manic is tied for my favorite Wage War.
Same. It's
You're not gonna
Blueprints and
like what
Manic
it's.
for me. Blueprints because Blueprints was the first because I got into it like them 6 months after Blueprints came out. So it's Blueprints
So did I, but like
and
I
yeah.
don't know where I have Deadweight and Blueprints right here, and every day they're literally going like this. Literally, they're just switching like
It's just
that
an
every day.
earthquake every
Yeah,
day.
it's
The
like
plates are shifting.
which one do I like more today? Deadweight? Am I depressed today? Deadweight. Am I going to the gym? Blueprints. Did my ex cheat on me? Blueprints and Deadweight.
Am I going to go see a concert with Tyler? Manic.
Yeah.
No,
So
the new song
I liked it.
it grew on
It
me.
wasn't overly produced. I have said it since I did the first episode with you as a guest. I love, and I'll repeat it now until there's no more breath in my lungs. I love when a band takes a risk.
Mm-hmm.
When Pressure came out 2019, that was a risk. Big risk. When Manic came out, it was a little risky, but it was more for the broader audience. But there
Yeah.
was one consistent thing between Pressure and Manic. That is Britain. Britain is singing a crap ton more. And
And his
I've
voice
been
is
waiting.
fantastic.
I've been waiting because it wasn't perfect on Pressure.
No.
Because he was learning. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with Ryan Kirby. Ryan Kirby was just a vocalist or a screamer. Now he is a full lead vocalist. Same thing with Britain. I hope there is more. This is controversial as crap. I hope there is more Britain singing on this album than Cody.
I think you might get that.
I think this might be the album we finally get that too.
Not saying that Cody's a bad vocalist, but I think it makes sense.
Cody's one of my favorite vocalists in metalcore.
But I think with Britain's vocals, they can do a heavy chorus, and it works perfectly fine because Britain's vocals are a deeper, raspier vocal.
Yeah, we can get more songs like Manic. We can get more High Horse. I'd love to see another song like Deadweight.
Yeah.
But like in a modern way, I'd love to see them do. If they wrote Manic 27 different ways, write it as a deathcore, write it as a country song. That's coming from me. Write it the same way. I think they really found their formula with Manic, though.
I think they did too. And that's when Cody also found his foot too in the Octane core stuff and just like writing in general, because his name's on a whole bunch of stuff. And you every time you listen to a song and you think for a second, oh, this sounds like Wage War. Well, probably is. Cody's hand is in it, so therefore
Cody's hand is
technically is a Wage War song. Just without being one.
God, I think it started back maybe when they released Drugs. It might have been Losing My Mind, Losing My Life. Cody has had a hand in almost every single Falling in Reverse song for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
Except like the reimagined.
Yeah.
And that's not taken away from Ronnie. Ronnie's just smart. He said, okay, he's doing this. He knows how to write breakdowns. It didn't seem like Ronnie really knew how to write breakdowns.
Yeah.
For metalcore, post-hardcore breakdowns, yeah, all day long. It's what we got from early Falling in Reverse. But I don't think Falling in Reverse is where they are now without Cody being an integral part of it.
Yeah.
Every other band blowing up.
Same thing with the new, or I guess I shouldn't say new, but the last A Day to Remember song. Cody had a hand in that, and you listen to it, it sounds like a Wage War song. But what's really funny is Jeremy McKinnon also helped on the early Wage War stuff, so therefore it came full circle.
Yeah.
Blueprints and Deadweight.
Yeah. So, yeah, Cody is Cody core. And with that being that, I think that really just brings us into what is Octane core.
Yeah, I mean, we've already started talking about it. Let's just continue that.
Yeah, let's just finish it up. Octane core, I mean, I already gave the rundown of the list, but God, I forget what Octane band. They're specifically like an Octane band. They blew up in like the last year. They opened for Red in San Antonio because this band was from San Antonio. Red.
Oh.
In San Antonio.
Wasn't Cherish Johnson? No, it's not Cherish Johnson.
No.
Let me see if I can find.
They weren't part of the tour package. Only for a couple. I forget their name. They just got off a big tour before that, but I only heard of them because my brother listens. I don't really listen to Octane that much because I just don't have Sirius.
Yeah, same.
But my brother does, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of them," and I was like, "Are they good?" He was like, "Yeah, I listen to them when they're on the radio and stuff." But I was like, that was my first time not knowing a band in a while, finding out that they're Octane core, and I was like, these guys are doing it right. And I feel so sorry that I'm forgetting their name right now.
If we figure out who it is, I'll drop the name on the YouTube video then.
Yeah.
When this goes up.
They were solid. I mean, they weren't my favorite because it started getting to a point where I was just like, I feel like I've heard this song too many times now. And you still have like 3 songs left in your set. But so I think when Octane core is done correctly, you're getting the same formula. But you don't feel like you're getting the same formula.
Yeah. I think a lot of people's issues with Octane Core is that it all sounds the same and people are tired of it.
It really doesn't, though. If you sit there and
No,
you listen to Octane for an hour, like go listen to Katie Babs or Jose Mangan.
yeah,
Listen to their show for an hour and a half while you're driving. Sure, stuff is going to sound similar, but it's because we're in the same genre.
yeah,
But each song is uniquely different. Unless
it
you're
is.
going artist to artist and it's like in the same rollout and you're like, okay, that's like, but for the most part, it's like, yeah, they're sticking to the formula, but they're taking the formula, doing it themselves.
Yeah.
And like to what fits with that band.
And the other issue too I found is people will praise one band for doing something like that, like let's say an I Prevail, but then Wage War who
Shoot
made it.
Wage War. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's like Wage War. I have to laugh every time people bring up like the last two I Prevail albums. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff on there that sounds like the Wage War stuff that just came out like a month to a year before that. And people are like, oh, the Wage War album sucked. But the I Prevail album, on the other hand, was really good. It's like, but it was this, almost the same, like similar stuff as what Wage War did. But you're saying
Yeah.
it's great when this other band does it. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's just how a lot of it is like
So
one
Trauma
band will
came
start
out
the.
before Treasure or before Pressure.
Did it? Yeah, because it came
Yeah.
out. Because
Trauma
that
came
came
out
out
early
after.
2019. They didn't have a long rollout for that. They released Bow Down and whatchamacallit, Breaking Down on the
You're
same
right.
day. And then we got the album like 3 weeks later.
You're right. Yeah, I forgot it.
And same thing with the new album. What is it? Strong Power or something like that.
True Power.
I'm wrong. True Power. I'm sorry, I prevail.
But their
That
song,
came out like a month before Manic, I think.
no, it came out
Oh
after.
no, it came out a year after Manic. That's right.
Yeah, because the one song on it, Self Destruct, the first time I heard, I was like, this is just a manic ripoff. Because they both start off with
I
like
love
that
Self-Destruct.
beat. I do like Self Destruct too. I am a
I
sucker
am
for it, but I'm like it.
alive. I come alive.
But they
That
both are
ending.
similar. It's like it's. What's funny is they're both on the same label too. So I'm like, how much of that is the label? It's like, oh, Wage War did this song here. You do this song similar to this now.
It's probably part of that. I've been getting into I Prevail a little bit more, maybe the last month because of their drummer.
I don't
Because
know much about. I've seen his stuff. I don't know much about him.
he has drum beats online. And at first, I didn't realize he was the drummer for I Prevail, and then I saw them in the video, and I go, "Oh crap, he's the drummer for I Prevail." But he might be a Christian. I think he is. He was talking about
Okay.
how he used to play drums at church and everything. He doesn't really use any language in any of the videos or anything. Like it's a rare thing. I'm not saying if you curse, you're going to. Oh, that's a conversation for another podcast.
Yeah.
This is my Christian theological side coming out. But so like I was just drawn to him. And I started watching all these different videos and I was like, man, I need to listen to Hyperveil again. And they're killing the game. I mean, I've already known that. Whenever they release something, I go back, like I check it out. But
I mean, I do
think
too.
they
I'm
are.
not thrilled with most of the stuff that they put out because I find it bland, but they have some standout songs for
Yeah,
sure.
the songs that stand out are like they're the ones. There's no other easy way to really say it, like to make it make sense. But like when they have that song, it's gonna go hard.
And I wish they would just play the songs that just stand out all the time and not like, because like some of their singles I'm not a big fan of, but it's like the songs that stand out, you could easily do a set list of them, and it'd be a great set list.
Yeah.
Actually, what I found is the less they're clean. Was it Brian? Yeah, Brian. The less Brian is in a song, the better the song is what I've found. Nothing against him, but it's just like it's just Eric is better in my opinion.
Eric's a beast, and Brian in his own way brings his own flavor to I Prevail. It's not to knock on him, but I
don't
do
know.
like.
I'm not a big fan of the two
like
vocalist
heavier.
band.
It's always hard. Usually, I like it when one of them plays another instrument.
Cody.
A perfect example. they're doing like the same things, but I'm like, that one needs a guitar in his hand.
Yeah.
But I think bands that define Octane core, Wage War, I Prevail. I think they sit at the top of that mountain.
Yeah.
What are some other bands that are
Beartooth is on there a lot. I don't know if you count them.
Now
It's weird.
I want to say yes, but I want to say no. I think we need another album to decide.
Yeah. Spirit Box is ever since Internal Blue has basically sat on Octane.
It's still they still play Circle with me. I love it.
Falling Reverse, A Day to Remember.
Memphis Mayfire.
Yeah. Asking Alexandria.
Well, we don't need to talk about them.
No, we don't need to talk about them. But, well, okay. Their last record wasn't bad. I liked it. I kind of liked it. It's cheesy radio hits, but I kind of liked it.
You know, I was pissed off because they teased the crap out of me. I thought it was going to be a heavy album. Just with the way the singles
compared to
were
the
going,
last two albums, it was heavy.
Well, I like, what is it? House on Fire or something like that.
Oh, I couldn't do that one. I
the
tried.
one before, whatever one had the violence on it. I was like, this is. But even then.
Oh, that's like 3 albums ago, I think.
That's not 3 albums. That wasn't on self-titled. Whenever Danny came back,
it up.
Let's do this. Whenever Danny came back to Asking Alexandria, there were only a few good songs on each album. Alone in a Room.
That Alone in a Room, Into the Fire, and where was the other one? I did like where did it go, and When the Lights Come On. Those are like the 4 off that record I really like.
I liked When the Lights Come On, but Alone in a Room and Into the Fire were the best ones. Then on the next album, we had The Violence, right?
Oh yeah, there it is, The Violence. I forgot about that song.
What was the other big song on that album?
Let me see if I can see what the single rollout was for that one.
Or just read it. I was going to say, read the track list and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll do that. House on Fire, They Don't Want What We Want, Down to Hell. They don't want what we want.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know that one, actually. There was on the one after that.
But again,
Alone Again. That's a good on See What's on the Inside. If Alone Again's the one I think it is, that one wasn't bad either.
But like with them, like The Violence and They Don't Want What We Want or whatever it's called. They're the only, like, I only get like 2 songs an album now by them that I'm like, yeah, this is good. Would I ever see them if the opportunity presented itself? Of course. It's still Asking Alexandria. You know what I mean? Like, they're one of the bands you have to check off the.
What's really funny is I could have seen them at Warped Tour, but instead I decided to sit barricade, wait for Wage War, and watch Every Time I Die on the other stage. Because Every Time I Die and Asking were at the same time. I was like, but we can be barricade for Wage War. I'm like, I don't want to give that up to go see Asking.
What year was that?
2018, the last year of Warped Tour. In Scranton. So I got to see Motionless in White in Scranton, too.
That's pretty dope.
That was a fun show.
Were Jim and Pam there as well? Did they show up at the show? Michael?
No.
I thought Michael was going to be there.
You know, you would think, but no, none of them showed up.
Not even Creed?
I thought Dwight would have been in the mosh pit, but I guess Slayer wasn't going, so that he didn't care.
We're so
You have seen that clip, right? Where he's like, "Oh, I got tickets to go see Slayer next year at the whatever the arena is up there." He's like, "You want to go?" I think I'm busy that night.
I think I'm busy that night. It's a year.
It's like a whole year out, and you already know that you're busy.
It's like, yeah, I'm actually really busy. I'm swamped every night.
Oh man, I'm swamped every night for the next year. Can you believe that?
Can you? Up until the day after that concert, I am swamped. Oh.
Day after that, I'm free. We can hang out. Let's go see Slayer then.
I wish it was that night. I wish, but it's not. So
yeah,
I think that that about rock. Oh no, we still have one more. Do we want to talk about that tonight, or do we want to save that for the next one so we can really dive into it?
I think we can go over it quick and tease it for the next episode.
All right, I'm gonna start. Bands that we think are gonna blow up in 2024.
Woo!
First band, I said Paradigms. They're gonna blow up. Mark my words. I love these boys. It's not because I'm friends with them. It's not because I was supposed to be their vocalist. It's none of that. They have a heart for this thing. Like, and it's evident. And the time that I got to spend with them, getting to know them more all the time, like just texting with them. The first time we all met in person, I was just like, there's something with them. And it's gonna take some time to get it out. But with this out, their first album getting ready to roll out, like, and then they just got to grow into it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're my biggest one that I think is going to blow up, or at least they'll blow up from the level that right now they're a local band.
Yeah.
I think they'll get to it, even if it's not blowing up. I think they're going to go 2 or 3 more steps up on the list.
That's fair. I could see that. I'll just run down through my list real quick, and you say yay or nay. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right. So the first one I got is a New Jersey band called Face Yourself.
Yay. I'm not even saying that because they're from Jersey. I've listened to some of their stuff.
I'm excited for them.
Yeah,
Jersey
boys.
They put out 3
New
EPs
Jersey
last year.
To the moon.
They put out 3 EPs last year before they even played their first show, and they're on the what is that? The big deathcore tour that happens every year. It's not Summer Slaughter, it's the other one. What is that one? It's
What? Yeah.
Summer Slaughter is coming back, but it's not that one. It's the other one. It's
not that. What is the other one?
I'm looking it up real quick.
I haven't been to it. That's why I forget, but I know the name.
I wanted to go to it the year Lorna was on it. Chaos and Carnage.
Oh yeah.
That one. So they're on that this year, which, I mean, they're already at almost 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. I think they're at like 80 something.
Okay, so they're like right there.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be the next thing in deathcore. Well, their vocalist Yasmin is a freak of nature, and she's also from Paris, I think. So like anytime they do shows or stuff, she flies from Paris into America to do shows and stuff. It's insane. Yeah.
How many monthly listeners does Convictions have?
Let me see. That's one I should have looked up today.
They're not at 100. I think they're at like 60 or something.
85.
85. They're close. They'll hit the 100K, and I think by this time next year they'll get picked up by a major tour.
Yeah. So they're at 85.8.
I don't think it'll be ABR.
They're at 85.8, and Face Yourself is at 85.9.
Wow, so they're like right there.
They are, yeah. The next one I have is go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I don't think it'll be ABR, but I think a big tour or a big band is gonna take Convictions out.
Convictions.
If it would have been ABR though, like taking them out for real, I think we would have seen it already. I think they only got CBR. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's retarded. Yeah, it'll be a big band that I think takes them out.
Yeah, CBR I think proved that they can hang with the big boys and go open up a tour because people love them.
They can start at an opening spot.
Yeah,
they can take that opening slot on any tour.
And people loved them at CBR because even after the set was during Price of Grace, people like when they get that really heavy section there at the end, people were loving that.
Yeah. One of the
But,
guys that did vocals during that part absolutely sucked.
was his name Danny Vitola by any
No,
chance?
no, it wasn't Vitola. It was Vitola.
Oh, is that? Have I been butchering your last name? No, I keep saying
Really?
Vitola. It's uh.
Fun fact, I get telemarketers that call me. Is Danny Vitola there? No. Click. Danny Vitola's here. Vitola? No. Telemarketers, get better.
I'll have to remember that for next. I can't believe I've been butchering it for this long and you didn't correct me on it.
It's fun sometimes.
Yeah. All right, for the next band, Psycho Frame. They have about, I think, 35,000 monthly listeners. They're a deathcore band, but it's like the old school deathcore sound, like that early
It's making a
2000s.
comeback.
It is.
It's Heavy Hitter is making a comeback.
Dude, I love Heavy Hitter.
Heavy Hitter. I love them.
But Psycho Frame's also going on tour with Spite and Body Snatcher too.
That'll help. That'll help.
Yeah. But they're not coming to the Harrisburg date, which has me pissed because I was really looking forward to seeing them. But they're going to Baltimore. They're just not coming to Harrisburg. I was like, are you kidding me?
I got another tour coming to Harrisburg for you, and it's combining 2 tours. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to that one as long as nothing pops up for me.
Good.
We already talked about this band earlier on in the show, Boundaries. I think this new album is definitely gonna. They already have 135,000 monthly listeners, but I think this album's gonna push them to that next level, and they're gonna. This is their year for sure.
Yeah.
Once you listen to that record, you'll understand why they're on this list.
Okay.
Morning Eve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to elaborate. We'll talk about that next episode.
I want to get them on the show soon. But maybe after I do this tour, because we'll get them on for an episode.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Morning Eve is gonna blow up. They're gonna be one of the biggest Christian metalcore bands. Are they a Christian? Yeah, they're Christian.
They said, I think it's one of those things where it's a band made up of.
It was CJ. She said basically everything I do is unto the Lord.
Yeah.
Whether it's my music, so it's like they didn't like fully say it, but like,
which I think is good on their part because the not trying to bash the Christian industry, but I feel like the fans can be very toxic.
I'll bash the Christian industry.
Go for it. I mean, I bashed it.
We need to do better. We need to do 1,000,000 times better.
Yeah.
We treat all these bands like crap. These bands that turn and walk away from Jesus, I'll name them: Under Oath, Gideon, all these bands who we're all in love with when they're preaching the gospel. Biggest one is Under Oath. Under Oath turns, walks away. It hurts. It hurt me more when Aaron walked away from his faith. Spencer, I understood a lot more. But you know what sucks? That the church and Christians decided to not help him when he needed help. We decided to spread hate and not love. We decided to not look like Jesus. We took everything that we hold to be true in the Bible and we basically said, screw you, go get help somewhere else. So he turned and found all these, and he's sober. And I am nothing but happy for him. There will be a day when he will come back to Jesus. I don't think he ever would have turned away from his faith if the church would have stepped up when they needed to.
I agree with that. Just from the stories that I've heard too, where it's, I don't know, that's a episode for another day too.
Yeah,
I have opinions on that, man. We could go all day on that one.
We could go all day.
But
yeah, Christian industry.
Yeah, go
do
for
better.
it.
Do better.
Mm-hmm.
There's my case.
I'll just rapid fire these last 4 here real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. I got Crown Magnetar, Mirror Cell, Orphan, and World Divided. Want me to repeat those?
Yeah.
Crown Magnetar, Mirror Cell, Orphan, World Divided.
I don't know. Yes, hell yeah.
Orphan was the one that was one of my EP of the year that I said was like Spite, but more unhinged somehow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I said yes to them.
Yeah. They were. Oh, and then Crown Magnetar, I sent you that one song the other day.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So that's why I said I don't know for the first two.
That Mirror Cell's really small. I think they only have like 10,000 monthly listeners, but Semper Metallum has been sharing them a lot, and they have like that.
I've been seeing them. I've been seeing their faces.
I think they're the next. They're gonna, because they don't sound like metalcore. They have their own unique sound, and I think that's what's gonna help them.
Nice.
Well, like I said, we can talk about this in the next episode. That's just a teaser for it.
Yeah.
So,
but
with that,
any closing thoughts?
not right now. Go check us out on Instagram and TikTok at the Breathe Let O podcast. Trying to think of what else. Oh, we do have a YouTube channel. I don't know if I ever mentioned. I think I mentioned that, but we do have a YouTube channel where you can watch us and see our lovely faces. And we are also on Spotify. I think Apple Podcasts, but it might just be exclusively Spotify. I gotta double check these things because
Spotify's better.
Spotify is better. That's a debate for another day.
But take care and brush your hair, everybody.
And make sure to go get your corpse paint from Liquid Death and E.L.F.
Woohoo! We'll see you guys next time on the Breathe Let O podcast.